Hello everyone, welcome today to my Friday segment of Get Your Play Online. Uh, Today I will actually be showing you how to make toilet paper roll projectors, and you just need a few really simple kind of things that you would already have around your house to make this. So let me show you first of all what supplies you will need. This a little higher. Okay, so the first thing that you will need is some plastic wrap. So I have this giant one, but you just need a little bit. So like maybe if you can see this, about a piece, maybe half this size for each projector that you make. It doesn't really matter how big it is, it just needs to be able to cover the toilet paper roll opening. So with that said, the next thing you will need is a toilet paper roll. So I have a few here. It's nice to have a few just so that you have options and can make a few different toilet paper roll projectors. Next thing you will need is there are these foam shapes that you can use. Now you don't actually have to use foam shapes if you don't want to. You can also use basically a permanent marker and some plastic wrap. So I didn't have these opened up. Okay, so if you want to use the plastic shapes, that's really easy. And if not, I will show you another way that you can also make a projector. So what I've done for the other option, and I will walk you through all the steps, so don't worry about it too much. So I printed out these little shapes on the internet. So I just looked up some, I don't know, sometimes they call them silhouettes, where it's all dark instead of an animal that you can see all the details on. And this way you can trace it so that we can see a shadow. So we will be using this plastic wrap and the silhouette and a permanent marker as a substitute for using the foam shapes. So if that all sounds confusing, that's okay. I will show you step by step how we can do this. And before we actually get into the activity, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about how shadows work. Some of you might be experts on this and have learned it in school. Some of you might not have gotten quite that far in school yet. So the way that a shadow works actually is that it is the absence of light, essentially. So maybe when you're walking on a sidewalk, for example, you notice that your body has created kind of this dark spot on the pavement when it's sunny outside. And that dark spot is your shadow, which you probably know. And the way that happens is the light is shining down from the sky, and you're, there you are walking in the sidewalk. And because you're there, the way the light is hitting you, it's blocking the light from reaching that part of the sidewalk. So your body is actually creating a shadow. And the way the light hits you can change, how big and wide that your shadow looks. So in this experiment or activity, what we are going to be doing is we are going to kind of see how shadows work using these little toilet paper roll projectors. So enough about talking about shadows, let's get to it. So here we go. So what I have set here, let me show you my workspace. So here I've got just some paper so that I'm not staining the counter with my permanent marker. And then I also have this picture here of a dove. So I'm going to start with tracing the outline of the dove. So I have taken a piece of plastic wrap, and I really don't need this much, but that's fine. I will use this much for now. Okay, so see how I've placed it down here? I'm putting it actually on top of where the dove is. And you want to get the image kind of in the middle of the plastic wrap, because that way, when you go to put it on your toilet paper roll, you'll be able to place it in the center and have enough plastic wrap around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trace around it first. So hopefully you can see this. So here I go. This is a dove. I'm going to trace around it and get the basic shape here. Okay, that's the basic shape. And now, so you're going to keep it in the same spot. And you can just do the outline, but I think it's cool to actually fill it in. So when you fill it in, you'll just get a better, I don't know, you'll have the shadow actually filled in as opposed to just seeing an outline when we actually use them. All right, hopefully I've done this okay. Okay, so now I'm going to move this over and you can see what my outline looks like. I might hold this up for you more so you can see it. Okay, we'll try to move it over without it all sticking to me. There you go. Do you see it? So there's our dove. I'm going to blow on it a little bit to try to get it to dry and not smear. Okay, so easy enough so far. Now I've got a toilet paper roll. Next step. So, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but you will need rubber bands, and I will have that all written in the comments for you so you can see what you need. Okay, here we've got our dove. We're going to place the dove on the toilet paper roll like this. So if you see, move it so you can make sure you can see how this is working. So you've got the dove here. You want to put it directly on the opening of the toilet paper roll. And you want to make sure it's tight, but you don't want to break it. So I've kind of put it on the toilet paper roll here. And now you can see that I have, there you go, you can see the dove on the opening of the toilet paper roll. So now I'm going to put a rubber band around it just to secure it. You might want to just loop it one time, like that. And if you need help, you can always get an adult to help you put on the rubber band. So there you've got a finished projector. So I'm going to show you how to make one with a, what do you call this? A foam shape as the next step. So let's see, we've got a few shapes in here. We've got hearts, we've got stars, butterflies. Let me show you what I've got here. So I've got a star, flower, butterfly, heart, and another flower. So I think on keeping with the animal theme, we are going to use this nice butterfly. Okay, so now time to get some more plastic wrap. I've got my big handy dandy container of plastic wrap. I'm just going to take some off here. And sometimes plastic wrap can be tricky because it gets all bunched up, so just try to be careful with it. All right, here we go. So I have, it's getting all bunched up. Okay, so since it's not bunched up over on this side, let's use this side. Okay, so now I've got my little, what do you call this? A butterfly, sorry. Thank you for your help there. Okay, so now I've got my butterfly, and these ones are just kind of peel and stick butterflies, so I'm just going to peel this papery part off. I'm going to place this just somewhere kind of in the middle on the plastic wrap so that you can properly place it on our toilet paper roll. So you can see, I'll hold it up for you. Good if I move the camera so you can see it. Okay, so there is our butterfly. So now we'll get another toilet paper roll. Here's another one. And we are going to place this right on top, like this. It doesn't really matter if you have the sparkly side facing out or not, but the sticky side is on the other side, so it just makes sense to put it on like this. Okay. So now I will get another rubber band for my rubber band ball. Here, does this bounce? Ooh, do you see it? Okay, anyway, not the point. I'm gonna get another rubber band from here. It usually works better if you use a thinner rubber band like I did before, but this is just what I have to work with. So I'm gonna put this rubber band on here like this. This rubber band, I think I'll just put it on once. Maybe I'll do it twice. These ones are just a little thick, so they don't work quite as well. Definitely would recommend using the smaller ones. Okay, but we'll have to deal with this. Okay, here we go. It's a little to the right side, but that'll be fine. All right, so trying to see. There you go. So there's another one, and that one is just a little easier because the shapes are already made for you. But, you know, it's kind of fun to do the ones like this dove because you can go on the internet and get whatever shapes you want. You can see it like that. Okay. Now, why don't we trace just one more so I can show you how the bunny looks. So I've got a bunny that I can show you that we are also going to trace. Here's the bunny, really cute. All right, so let's just do one more. Remember, get your plastic wrap out. Get a little bit off here. Mine has this nice little slidey thing. All right, so I've got a nice piece of plastic wrap. Here, I have Mr. Bunny. I'm going to slide him right here. Remember to have some paper underneath so that you can keep your parents happy and not get permanent marker on your counter. All right, so got the bunny all set up here, ready to go. Now I'm going to trace it. This one is a little harder than the dove, but we are going to try our best. Okay, so do a little bit of the outline first. And the nice thing about these silhouette pictures that I printed out, they just work a lot better because you can tell what the animal is just from the outline of it, and that's really what you need when you're making these projectors. Because sometimes if you use a picture that has all the detail in it, even if you just trace the outline, it won't look exactly like the animal with just the outline, if that makes sense. Okay, look at that. We've got a bunny. Do you see how I took that off and it looks like a bunny? Hold it up just to make sure you can see it. Blow on it a little bit to make sure it's dry. And there you have a bunny. Very exciting. Okay, so now we'll get another toilet paper roll right here, and we will put the bunny that we've just traced on the opening. So see how I have it right on the opening like this? Try to make it so you can see it. All right, great. Now, got another rubber band ready for us. This one's a little thinner than the last one, so it should work a little better. Great. So now we've got a bunny. You can't see it when I do that. All right, there you go. I think you can see it. Great. Okay, so now, in order to actually use these, so remember how I said that shadows are the absence of light? Well, in order to really emphasize this part of the shadow, we're going to shine some light through the toilet paper tubes and onto the wall. But to be able to see it really well, you want to be in a dark room. So you'll find somewhere in your house that is nice and dark. I'm going to use this little bathroom because bathrooms a lot of times don't have windows. And that is an easy way to find a dark spot. So let's go. I'm going to take you with me here. And I'm going to use the flashlight on my phone. And if you have a normal flashlight around the house, that's probably better. And your parents might also be able to let you use their phone flashlight. So, lots of options. All right. Got all my supplies with me? Let's go. Oh, whoops. And then I also have my dove. I'll bring this guy too. So I've got 4 projectors we are playing with here. I'm just going to set you down right here. And hopefully you'll be able to see pretty well. If not, I apologize. I'll try to make it so that you can see what's going on. Oops, that's not what I want. All right, here we go. So, you know, I might have to put you down here. I will do. Apologies for all the crazy angles here. I'm going to make the computer light a little darker. There you go. Now I'm going to put my flashlight on my phone. You can see the flashlight. And I've got my little projectors here. All right, so now what I'm doing, let me turn on the light so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am actually going to shine the light on my phone right through the little projector thing. So can you see that? So there's my phone flashlight, shining it right through the little hole on the toilet paper roll. All right, now I'm going to try to get you to see it on the wall. This might be a little challenging, but we'll see. All right, can you see that? Oh, yes, it works. So now you can see a butterfly. So make sure you're shining it, the light, so you want the light on your flashlight to go right through the open side of the toilet paper roll. So now you can see the butterfly. And you can move it up and down. Woohoo! Pretty fun. You can give the butterfly a name, maybe you can call it, Susie the butterfly, or Sunshine the butterfly. Maybe call it Rainbow, whatever you want. All right, so now are you ready to see another one? Great. Okay, so next one Got toilet paper roll. Make sure you shine it through the opening, and we are going to show you the bunny. So see, when you put it like that, I don't know if you can see, and it doesn't really show up when I show it. Okay, so I'm just going to put it against the wall. And it funnels that light through the toilet paper roll and onto the wall. And see how we've got the bunny here now? Can make it hop along. Woo. So the bunny, the reason it shows up on the wall like this is because of the picture that we drew on our plastic wrap. And the outline of the bunny is the absence of light, as we talked about. So you can see the bunny on the wall. And we can make them bounce down this way. All right, so there we've got the bunny. All right, next up, we've got, which one is this? The dove. So same thing here, and you can see the dove. See it flying around. There you go. So it's pretty fun to really see them come to life. Because I'm trying to show you this on the camera, it's a little harder to kind of show you the full ability of what it can do. But I'm glad that you can at least see this much. All right. Next one, we have got the, what is this? I can't even see. Oh, did I make two doves? I think I made two. Yeah, I made two doves. Whoops. All right, well, anyway, you can see this one too. You see, I just followed the outline, and you can see them flying away. All right. Well, I'm glad that we could come in here and try out our little projectors. At home, you can make up little stories with your projectors, and that is just a really fun activity for you and your family. And because it's just me, I can't do them all at the same time, but if you and your family have multiple projectors and multiple flashlights, then you can certainly do it together and make some stories. You can do bedtime stories with them. So just a really fun tool to have. Okay, I realize you can't even see me. Okay, here we go. And now, to finish off, I am going to read you a poem about shadows. Right. So there's a poem about shadows, and it is written by Robert Louis Stevenson, who is a famous author. And anyway, let me just read it to you. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller, like an India rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me. He's a coward, you can see. I'd like to, shame to stick, a shadow sticks to me. I don't think that makes sense in today's world. One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like a little sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. So thanks so much for joining me as we talk about shadows, and I hope you have a lot of fun making your little projectors. I had a lot of fun making them. So remember, you can use any shape that you want. You just need to go online and find some of those little silhouette shapes to print out. Or you can also get one of these fun containers of shapes that are already made that you can find at any sort of craft store, or really lots of places have them. So thanks so much for joining me again. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend and that it's sunny for you and you can play outside. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you join me again next week, Friday at 11, for another activity. Bye, guys.